by the Green Bay Packers quarterback. He is an MVP. He is a 3-time Pro Bowler. He is a Super Bowl champion. He is a Super Bowl MVP. And coming off another huge year, we had 39 touchdowns and 8 interceptions last season. Aaron Rodgers joins us. Aaron, always good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. Thanks for having me back.
Good to have you back, Aaron. You've had a pretty busy run of it of late. In fact, you've been working out, appearing on the office. How's the offseason gone for you?
It's been good. You know, I like what we've done with the new CBA, giving us a little bit extra time off to, especially for the veteran players, mentally and physically needing that rest and ability to recover from a long season. But it's fun to be back out in OTAs with the young guys in, and just kind of see the team start to take shape, and it's exciting to see these young guys step in and remember what it was like to be 21 and a rookie.
Aaron Rodgers, my guest. I want to talk about what you have this year, but let me ask you about something that you took part in recently, the Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer Evening with Aaron Rodgers. Bart Starr was also a part of that, and you mentioned that he's something of a new role model for you. What do you like about Bart Starr, and what do you want to emulate?
Well, that was a special night. It's been a pleasure to work with the MAC Fund and try and raise awareness and raise funds to help out these kids with cancer. Was honored to have Bart join us. Also, Andy North and John McLaughlin, who started the MAC Fund back in the 70s, a former Milwaukee Buck basketball player. And, just getting to know Bart has been a pleasure for me. He started in 2008. He actually sent me an email during a difficult summer, a very positive email. And since that time, he's been nothing but supportive, him and his wife. The thing that I told him that night that I'd like to reiterate is that when you think about Bart Starr and you talk about Bart, more times than not, the first thing you talk about is the kind of man that he is. And he's an incredible guy with a great heart. And people sometimes forget the number of championships that he won and the first 2 Super Bowls and MVPs. What a great quarterback he was, but often it's a testament to him. The first thing you talk about when you talk about Bart Starr is what kind of person he is.
Aaron Rodgers, my guest. Aaron, one more thought about that MAC Fund. It's focused on cancer in children, and I've got to think there are going to be times when a child is at the event one year, but then isn't there for the next year and passes away. How difficult is that for you to see?
It's very difficult, and we actually had one kid who I've known through the program for the last 3 years, Jack Bartos, who we lost this last season, lost his battle with cancer, and it's very difficult because you want to get close to these kids and get to know them and hear their stories and be encouraged about the work that's being done. But you realize that, we're still at an 80% rate of curing these kids of their cancers and bloodborne diseases. So we're still going to lose some of these kids in the program. And as difficult as that is, that it also spurs you on and gives you that perspective that the fight that we're in is not over, and we still have a lot of work to do.
Such great cause. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, my guest. Earlier this offseason, Mike McCarthy, your coach, mentioned that it had been 8 years and 2 days since you were left hanging in the green room, and you quickly corrected him by saying it was 8 years and 3 days. I mean, how often do you still think about that day?
I think you have to think about it every now and then to keep that perspective. I'm reminded every time the draft comes around, I see my picture with my soul patch and my spiked up hair and my 2005 cell phone that's a little different than the ones you see now. I get a laugh when I see that and remember some of the feelings I was going through. But I think you have to keep a perspective of kind of where you've come from and where you're going and where you want to be and what you've accomplished. I try and keep my small-town roots, being from Chico, California, on my mind and try and remind myself of the humility that's associated with a town like that, blue-collar town, and also remember the hard work I had to put in to go from high school to junior college to being a starter at Cal to being drafted later than I initially thought I was going to. That helps to continue to fuel my fire. But I'm very self-motivated. I think you have to be successful in this league, and I'm going to continue to set goals for myself that I'm going to try and reach every year. Packers
quarterback Aaron Rodgers, my guest. Aaron, your brother Jordan was given an opportunity. He signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a free agent. He was not drafted. I had him on the show recently. I thought he made a great impression. It can't be easy being your younger brother. What advice do you have for him?
Well, I think he's got to be himself. He's had a difficult run of having to, go the same route that I went, same coaches in high school at Pleasant Valley High School in Chico, same coaches at junior college at Butte Community College, and then, getting an opportunity at Vanderbilt, being part of something special down there. winning a lot of games, turned that program around. I know it's been a lot of fun for him, but I think he's got the perfect disposition for it. He has that edge about him, the chip on his shoulder. He's an extremely hard worker, and just really proud of him. He's got an injury right now he's dealing with, but I'm hopeful he's going to get an opportunity to compete, and I think if he does, then it's going to bring out the best in him because he's always risen to the occasion when given the opportunity.
And there's been some talk of late that the Packers and Brett Favre might come back together and maybe they'll retire his jersey sooner than later. Where do you come out on that?
I'm excited about it. I really am. I had a chance to spend time with Brett this offseason at the honors, and it was good to catch up with him. It's been too long. I think our country and the state of Wisconsin is these people are people of second and third and fourth chances, and I think it's time to let the healing process begin for those who are still upset about what went down. And I was totally okay with being out front of that, and I'm very secure with the things I've been able to accomplish with the team and individually here in Green Bay, and excited about the chance to see him again and get his number retired here before he goes into Canton.
So when the two of you were at that honor show, was it at all awkward, or was there a mutual respect, and did it feel right?
No, it felt great. It really did. I mean, we got to meet up before backstage and talk about some of the lines we wanted to run through. But it was more just catching up on what he was doing, telling old stories from the 3 years we were together, talking about some funny things, and we had a great time. So it was fun to catch up with him. It was good to see him, and I look forward to him being back in the fold, as Mark Murphy has said. And I think it's time for our fans, this organization, and Brett to heal through this and to move forward together before he gets the greatest honor of being inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers joins us for another couple of moments. Aaron, you signed that 5-year, $110 million extension this offseason. It makes you the highest paid player in the NFL. What's a contract like that mean to you?
I think it's a responsibility on one end to make sure that the Packers feel good about it, and I feel good about it, and we realize what this means. It's just reiterating that I am the face of the franchise. I take that role very seriously. I know I represent my organization as well as my family and my teammates. I want that responsibility. I want to be a leader on this team. I want to be a guy that this team looks to. I want to be a guy that the fans can be proud of, the way that I conduct myself on and off the field. And I'm excited about the opportunity to finish my career in Green Bay. And if things go the way we all hope they would, and I continue to play at the kind of level they expect me to, then I think it's pretty certain that I'll be able to say I'm a Packer for life, and that's a very special achievement.
Aaron Rodgers, my guest. One last thought. Brian Urlacher announced his retirement this morning. You guys had some epic battles. What was it like going up against him, and maybe do you have a favorite Urlacher memory?
I have a lot. I mean, I've said before that Brian was my favorite player to play against. Just have the utmost amount of respect for him, the way he plays the game. A lot of memories come to mind. He picked me off a couple times, maybe more than anybody else has. But I had one really bad play in the NFC Championship in 2010 season, and was able to somehow grab his knee/thigh area enough to trip him up for a tackle. And one of my favorite memories of going against Brian. But the thing I loved about Brian was the conversation between plays, between series, but during TV timeouts. Just have a ton of respect for him, and wish him nothing but the best. I'll miss him out there.
Can you give us an idea, for instance, like what would you guys talk about between plays or during TV timeouts?
You know what? Just anything and everything. I mean, from schematic stuff to silly plays that might have been called to, we had a back and forth one time where I'm making a check, he's making a check, his voice cracks. So, laughing about that. A few plays later during a TV timeout. Some of the checks that he would do were often very colorful. If he had been mic'd up at those times, there would have been some good unedited NFL film stuff. But I just always appreciated the way he played the game, his approach, his professionalism, and competing against him was a great honor.
Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, my guest. Aaron, I always appreciate you coming on the show. I really, really enjoyed that visit especially. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Good talking to you, Aaron. Sincerely.